Electric field on the axis of uniformly charged circular ring. See, there is one circular ring. Let us consider one circular ring of radius r. This is written as a theory. Consider a ring of radius r. Now it is uniformly charged. Let us consider plus q charge is uniformly distributed over the circumference of ring. This plus q charge. This is next. Let plus q charge is uniformly distributed on circumference of ring. Now this is called axis of the ring. Really speaking, ring is not placed like this. Ring is placed like this. So this is center of the ring and this is axis of the ring. So in particular, if you want to put ring like this, we show this line as dotted. This is rear part. Really speaking, ring is placed like this. So this dot dot represents rear part. This solid line represents front part. So ring is placed like this when we put this dot dot sign, and this is center of the ring and this is axis of the ring. Now on this axis of the ring, we want to find electric field intensity at any point P at a distance x from center of the ring. This is another point. To find electric field on any point P on axis of the ring, where P at x distance away from center of ring. See, this is called point number 1, theory of the derivation. Whatever consideration taken for the topic. Like, what is the topic? We are finding electric field on axis of uniformly charged circular ring. So what are the consideration? Let us consider ring of radius r on which plus q charge is uniformly distributed. This is a point on the axis of ring at a distance x from center of ring. We want to find electric field at this point P. This is step number 1, consideration taken for the derivation. So this is theory. Breathe in. Now step number 2, how will you find it out? This is continuous geometry, and formula for point charge. For point charge, how to find electric field at a point at a distance r from charge. So this magnitude of electric field at P is K mod of Q by R square, and for positive charge direction is radially outward, for plus outward. Outward means away from positive charge. This is direction of electric field at P. Now this formula is valid for point charge. Now this is not point charge. So how will you solve? This is called integration technique. For this, you consider, let this ring is made up of infinitely small, infinite number of elements of charge dq, dq, dq each, and having length dl, dl, dl each. So this is, small charge considered by you. Like, you consider this ring is divided into infinitely small, infinite number of elements. Why? Because one element, let us say this is one element considered, dq, having charge dq, having length dl. This is infinitely small. Focus this. Infinitely small. So one element is infinitely small. So it is equivalent to. So it is equivalent to point charge. Breathe in. When you consider it is made up of infinitely small, infinite number of elements, one element is so small, it behaves as point charge. So this formula is valid for one element, for each element considered. Breathe in again. Then in the point number 3, for this considered element, dE is the electric field at P due to considered element. See, this is the considered element. You can write here one element is infinitely small, considered at the top of the ring, or considered as shown. Now let us say we are considering this element, one element. So this one element will create electric field at P. So how will you find? Apply this formula. Because infinitely small element behaves as point charge. So magnitude of electric field at P, you can write the symbol P if you want to write. We are finding electric field at P because of this element. So how you find? K mod of charge divided by distance between charge and the point square. Let us say it is smaller. Focus on this smaller and breathe in. This smaller is considered for easy calculations. Actually this distance from element to point is under the root r square plus x square. Later on, finally you may write this. But now we are considering this is small r, which is the distance between element dq and the point. So we may write k dq by r square. This is the formula. See, k mod of charge by r square, where r is the distance between charge and point. So r is the distance between charge and point. So it will become very, very easy for you. Later on you may put r is equal to root of r square plus x square from Pythagoras theorem simply. So this is magnitude of electric field. You can write this magnitude as well like this without any vector notation and without mod sign. So mod of this k dq by r square. This is equation 1. Now direction. Direction of dE vector at P. Electric field is radially outward for positive charge, away from positive, and it is radial. Radial means along the line joining. Similarly, direction of electric field at P due to this positive charge. First of all, join the line between charge and point and see it is plus, away from positive charge. So this is the direction of electric field at P due to this element considered. So you may write it radially outwards as shown in the diagram. Let us consider this angle is theta. Now again breathe in. Now integration technique. What is integration technique? Integration technique says if you are solving this numerical and this is scalar quantity, if it were scalar quantity, then nothing to do. For scalar quantity we do small electric field is k dq by r square, just integrate and that there will be final answer. Like later on you will see potential is a scalar quantity. So dV is K dQ by R. Now integration, there will be direct answer. For scalar, just integrate this. This is small electric field K dQ by R square. Want to find final answer for all the infinite elements? That is called summation over all the infinite elements. Just integrate both sides. This is integration. Integration is this. Actual symbol is S. S means sum of infinite elements. That is called indefinite integration. So this was for scalar. Breathe in again. Now how to solve numericals based on integration for vector quantities. Now integration technique for vector quantity. What do? You will have to consider symmetrical element to check whether one component or whole vector is cancelled or not. Meaning, before integration this, you will have to check whether any component being cancelled or not. So how to check? By taking symmetrical element. Breathe in. Let us start. Up till now you have learned small electric field magnitude is K dQ by R square and direction is that. So what to do? Resolve this into two components. See tip of the pen in the direction of DE. Aju, Baju. So this is one component, DE cos theta. This is another component, DE sin theta. Now we will consider symmetrical element in this step number 4. So symmetrical element considered. Symmetrical element is diametrically opposite element. See, this was the element considered. So diametrically opposite element. This is the element. Same charge, same length. So what is symmetrical element? Having same magnitude of electric field as well. See, diametrically opposite element, focus, this is only to check which component is cancelled or not. So for this DQ element, say I am making them solid lines. This is, now we are checking for symmetrical. For symmetrical element, same charge, same length, that is symmetrical element. It is at same distance r, at the same angle theta. So this element also having same electric field K dQ by R square at point B as that of considered element. Same electric field for both the elements, DE. But direction is different. For this it is radially outwards, DE vector. Because it is vector quantity, direction is different. Maybe same, maybe different. This time it is different. So we will check by resolving this electric field which is having same magnitude but different direction. Now we will check which component will be cancelled. Draw its components. First right side, second this left side. So this is one component, this is another component. This is DE cos theta and this is DE sin theta. Now you can write symmetrical element having same electric field magnitude, that is K dQ by R square, and direction as shown in the diagram. Now in step number 5, you see from diagram, you see sign components are cancelled. Breathe in slowly and gradually. This is d sine theta for considered element, and this is d sine theta in the upward direction for symmetrical element. So both having same value, DE, they are equal, sine theta equal, and their direction in the opposite direction, one in upward direction, another in downward direction. See this? And breathe in again. Actually, these are two components for two elements. Focus 100%. These are two components, sine components, which are equal and opposite for two symmetrical elements, diametrically symmetrical. So these are not only two components, they are infinite components. How? Like this. If this element were considered, symmetrical element will be this. So they are making equal opposite pairs. Any two. For this it is equal opposite symmetrical element. For this it is symmetrical element. For this it is symmetrical element. Diametrically opposite element is symmetrical element. So we will write like this: summation of infinite sine components will be 0, being equal and opposite. Remember, we have considered infinite elements of the ring. So two elements, they are making pairs, and all the infinite sine components are cancelled. Like these two elements, sine component are equal opposite, cancel. For next two. So these are infinite sine components being equal opposite, all are cancelled. Breathe in again. Similarly, these cosine components, d cos theta, again breathe in slowly and gradually. It seems to be only two components. No. This diagram is shown for two components. For two components, it is checked. Cosine components are in same direction. But if you check for all the infinite elements, all cosine components will be in same direction. Since we are finding for the ring, we will say final electric field at P on axis of ring will be summation of all the infinite cosine components, d cos theta. Breathe in again. See, remember, we are discussing two elements. Why? To check this sine component, they are equal and opposite, they will cancel for all the infinite elements. Similarly, for these two elements, considered and symmetrical, we saw cosine components are coming in same direction for two elements. Now it is equally good, equally valid for all the infinite elements. So for all the infinite elements, cosine components are in same direction. So if you are finding answer for ring which is having infinite elements, so you will have to add them. This is called integration. Summation for infinite elements called integration. dE cos theta. Now from first, what is dE? K dq by r square for the one element, and what will be cos theta? From this, see 90 angle, this is base and this is hypotenuse. So cos theta will be x upon r. So input the value of cos theta also, x by r. So electric field on the axis of ring will be kx by r cube into dq. You know, there are two ways to solve this. You may write directly. This dq is the small charge on the one element. Then for integration for whole circumference, it will be q. You can write it directly, and their answer will be, final answer will be here. This is k x by r cube into q. So you can write it finally like this, k qx by r cube. See, what is r? You know, this was r. R square, caps r square plus x square root. Root means whole power 1 by 2. Now cubing both sides. R cube will be r square plus x square whole power 3 by 2. So you will write in place of r cube r square plus x square whole power 3 by 2. There is one more way at this juncture for dq. That is called linear charge density. Or I am writing it all. Linear charge density, that is called lambda. Lambda, this linear charge density called total charge upon total length. This total length is nothing but circumference of the ring on which this positive charge is uniformly distributed. This is also called small charge over small elements, small length. This ratio remains constant. Now find dq. So you will see two steps from here. First q will be lambda into L and second dq will be lambda into dl. Now see, at this particular step this derivation is over. I am omitting it. Now same thing can be continued like this. You know, up to dq. What is dq? You write here, because dq is from here lambda into dl. So input the value of dq here, kx by r cube. It is lambda into dl. Then what will you do? Kx by r cube, lambda taken outside, integration of dl. See, integration of dl, this small element, you may write in two ways. First, from 0 to whole length of circumference, which is this 2 pi r. So you may write 0 to 2 pi r, or you may write 0 to L because it is length. Are you getting it? So integration of dl will be L from 0 to 2 pi r. Now upper limit minus lower limit, it will be 2 pi r. Now what is 2 pi r? 2 pi r is this length. So again you can write L. So final answer will become, after this step, kx by r cube into lambda into L. See, what is lambda into L? Again it is q. So kx into q by r cube. Answer will be same. I repeat, breathe in. One step is you can direct integrate dq. Integration of dq is q, and that is the final answer. Another way is this dq is lambda into dl. Now put lambda into dl here in place of dq. Now lambda is linear charge density, remains constant. Taken outside, integration of dl, that gives directly L. dl integration is L. So lambda into L, again it is q. So remember, this q is lambda L and dq is lambda into dl. If you want to follow like this way technique, breathe in,